smoke. Heart and Souls Promotions. That's it. That's the last time we used the ticker bomb for the opening. Anyway, Heart and Souls Promotions. It is I, producer Jill Spielberg, soon to be the former producer Jill Spielberg, because guess what? I didn't take no notes. I didn't pay attention to nothing. And unfortunately, I don't know who won or lost anything last week, except for that final match that was a tie. Yeah, it was a tie. So hopefully somebody here will be able to save the day. So I'm going to get the other producer out here. Hopefully he knows something. John, please tell me that you got some notes on last week's match.
I have a couple of notes, but far from apparently one of the biggest upsets in promo. I don't know. I lost track after that match, honestly.
I have to apologize, everybody. It's been a crazy week here at HSP. We had a monkeypox outbreak in the janitor's closet, so we're having to do everything remotely from other places. It was crazy. I don't know if it was monkeypox. It could have just been back acne. I'm not 100% sure what it was. It just looked gross and pussy. But anyway, there is a man that I'm going to bring on right now. This man is basically the thesaurus. Did I say that right? Thesaurus? Whatever. Encyclopedia Britannica of the promo world. Just because he's the boss, he's the OG, he's the man with the
thesaurus.
It's a dinosaur with a spine, like a book. Shut up, John. You don't know nothing. Anyway, Boss is back and he looks happier than ever. I guess some people finally bought his merch. Boss, how are we doing?
I'm doing good.
That is awesome. I love seeing John King Jr. on screen.
I heard that this episode of the Pulse was sponsored by Jeffy. Is that true?
No.
You don't want to bring up Jeffy right now. I'm a little pissed at Jeffy. You don't want to bring
apparently up this was also supposed to be, I guess, Rainbow for 2024 or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I don't know about a stuffed animal being a president or something like that, but I tell you somebody who'd be a damn good candidate, and that's that gentleman right there, because look at all that pretty gold. Oh, my goodness. I almost need to put on sunglasses. It is the one, the only, it was the heathen, the man that is the future of HSP, and he still won't buy a new beanie.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I ain't going to change this thing. This thing's been lucky charmed since day one.
Are you wearing Luke Harper's
or something, man? Because that smoke is just strong.
Are you wearing Luke Harper's old beater?
Am I coming on screen just to let y'all talk shit about how I'm dressed, or are we going to talk about last week's show?
We're going to talk. Matter of fact, you know what? I kind of like the way he's dressed. I'm going to dress just like him here too. I got on the gray tank top, and I might as well.
All right. If we're going to talk about last week's show, how about let's start this off with Vagabond versus Bad Superman, with Vagabond winning that match. Now, Bassolini, Bad Superman, you guys go all the way back. What was your thoughts on this match?
Well, it was a very close match, and it was a contrast of styles. And old school versus new school, they say. New school came out on top, but it wasn't like he ran away. It was a point difference. Vagabond got the win, but Bad Superman still let HSP know that he's not a joke and he's not going to play with.
Now, Heathen, you're one of the probably toughest competitors here in the HSP. What was your thoughts on this match?
Vagabond and Bad Superman. From what I've seen of Bad Superman, he's going to be dangerous. Give him enough time in HSP. Now, Vagabond, I'd like to have seen a little bit more, but he's not. I've not seen him on. I mean, it don't look like he's had really a whole lot of screen time. I don't know a lot about him. It seems like he's still relatively fresh. So, I mean, it looks to me like they both just need more time.
Well, you got to look at it. Vagabond looks like he's at the bottom of the Air Reality's ladder. So, they might not be passing them that wisdom on to him yet.
Air Reality's at the bottom of the barrel anyway.
But now, Boss, you were talking about that with Vagabond being the bottom of the barrel for Air Reality. Some could also possibly say that Bad Superman might be the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the shot callers. So, what would you say to that?
I mean, the thing is, when you look at the shot callers, you know, outside of people like Heathen, who's going to say that shot callers is A-list Alverson and his supporting cast. The shot callers is a cohesive unit. Everyone works together. So words of wisdom and education has been passed on to each member of the shot callers. You know, it's not like one of us is going to leave the others behind. We're a family. We're a team. We're going to keep each other going, and we're going to keep pushing forward. You know, like he didn't grab that tag title, and don't worry, the shot callers is coming for that.
No, I'm just to make sure you still see your reflection in it because you ain't getting it.
Oh hell! See, that's the problem with you, kid. This ain't the same boss that you faced the last time.
I've done put you in your fucking place twice.
But can you do it one-on-one?
That's yet to be seen.
I know, because last time we faced one-on-one.
Oh, keep hanging your hat on fucking history.
Now, honestly, I think this could be actually a fun, like, faction warfare you got going on. You have the Highway Hellraisers, if they still have Dexno a part of them. So you got that fearsome three.
Whoa. Dexno ain't with us no more. Did you not catch his promo?
They fired him.
He walked out and got his ass beat.
I got bad news. Sorry, Brick Johnson told me that he was still with you guys. I apologize.
Well, Brick Johnson don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I apologize to our tag team champion over there.
You can go for Brick's word. So when you look at factions, there's not that many. Right now, it's Air Reality and the Shot Callers. You know, the Highway Hellraisers are a great tag team. And I give them that. Because they are the reigning, defending HSP and VOH tag team champions. So I got to give them credit for what they're doing. But, you know, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
That is a true fact.
So, well, you know, you bring up a good point there, boss, and I kind of want to get into that. Normally, I'm all about what HSP is doing in HSP, but I think tonight we kind of need to branch out a little bit and kind of get into a little more of what the other feds are doing, because we do have many promo artists here that do go out there and they entertain in other feds. So maybe we need to kind of elaborate in that, and we're going to get into that next since you brought up Brick Johnson. But I want to put it out there. Bad Superman, I like what you do. You do great stuff, but you can only get better. And if you get better, then you might have one of them goals behind Heathen. If you don't, then Bad Superman is going to be just as good as the Green Lantern. And we don't want that here. So,
not the Green Lantern movie.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, he's green. He's new. Kind of rhymed.
Jeff, you just get dirty.
I know it's dirty, but you know what? Tonight we're going to be dirty. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to sit there and have our finger in every single little crevice that we can find, because you know what? We've got to be entertaining. So we're going to be entertaining. So let's talk about Brick Johnson. Actually, not even Brick Johnson. Let's talk about this guy called Chaos. Now, I know Boss has heard of Chaos. I've heard of the name Chaos, and it has nothing to do with the controlled chaos that was in VOH. It was just Chaos. And he come out today. on Promo Wednesday, and he come out and he said something to Brick Johnson about how he disrespected him by going to his old tag partner, who was JP, you know, and getting information from him. So, I mean, what do you think Brick Johnson's actually trying to do here? Because he's sitting there saying that he was the wink link and he was doing this and that and all this other stuff. But Chaos says that JP was holding him back.
So I have one thing I want to say. What has, like, cool, we're talking about Brick Johnson and whatnot, JP. What has honestly Brick Johnson done since he's been here? Coming back out of retirement, what has he done? All he's done is pretty much give good hypes, disappointing promos. Now, yes, he covered the spread against Rig. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, if you look at that promo against Rig, it wasn't actually a disappointing promo. It's just his focus might have been a little off.
But apparently, then what you're saying is his focus is always off because we're talking about other organizations. The guy next door, the name Villain, pretty much watched the promo that he gave up against the Villain, and pretty much he laughed. He was like, "What the heck is he doing?" He's looking at down like he's taking notes, like reading off something like, "Villain, I'm gonna do this to you." Like, come on, dude. His focus. Like,
if there's anything that Brick Johnson is known for, it's getting his ass whipped in rapid succession, whether he's out of retirement or behind the desk. So ass whooping just comes synonymous with Brick Johnson. I mean, there's really not much else to put it.
But honestly, if we're really going to start talking about ass whoopings, let's start talking about that next match, the second match of that night, which was Heathen versus Mary Sue. Heathen, you're a part of that match. Like, were you expecting that much of pretty much a beating to be put down, or were you actually expecting some sort of fight?
Believe it or not, I was hoping that Mary Sue would come out and cut the promo of her life and possibly beat me. But I was thoroughly disappointed when I beat her ass with a car promo. That set the statement right then and there of just how far Mary Sue's going to go in the promo world when she can get beat by a car promo. Because everybody in promo world, anybody that's close to doing promos knows promo 101. Car promos are damn near forbidden. But I'll take credit and say I made that car promo my bitch. And I cut the car promo to end all car promos. Mary Sue, she dropped the ball. She was lost. So really, I should have expected that.
Now, Bassolini, you've been in the promo game for forever. Like you are literally the OG when it comes to the promo game. First question, and then I'll let you also remark on this match. First question is, have you ever seen a car promo win that bad in a match? Like that big of a spread? And what were your thoughts onto this match?
Okay, so I've watched a lot of car promos. I know a friend of mine, he's a teacher. His name's Arthur King. He got a car promo against this guy known as the Gypsy King. And in this promo, he actually added some music to it where he was dismantling this guy. And he called him a baby. He decided to let him hear his favorite song for him that reminded him of him, and it was Baby Shark. And the vote came out to a sweep. Arthur King destroyed Gypsy King because there's only one true king over there in the VOH. So it was very interesting. And with Heathen doing his car promo, it was impressive. I don't believe the car promo was what gave him the win. When Mary Sue came out and said that she does not care about this match, I think that told the judges that she wanted Heathen to win.
Now, and this is for everybody that for everybody's comments, but have we seen the tip of the iceberg or the tip of the mountaintop, whatever you want to call it? Have we seen the very best of her already, and now we're just starting to see the downward fall?
Well, yeah. I'm going to be honest. The boss likes speaking to talent. So the boss reached out to Mary Sue, and Mary Sue said that she's going to avenge her loss. She said that when she faces off against the Tin Man, that the Tin Man is going to learn a thing or two from Mary Sue. So hopefully she's going to be a woman of her word and bring everything that she got against the Tin Man, because we all know that the Tin Man.
Hold on a second though, because I know I've been a shitty producer, but when did she say this?
Well, me and her had a discussion. She didn't. It wasn't in the promo. Me and her had a discussion, and this is what she told me.
I just have to put a fair warning. We have to watch out saying the T word because you never know. He might throw a tantrum and all of a sudden throw stuff at.
You just said the T word. You just said tantrum. Why? You're not supposed to say it because that's what Hollywood Haywood does when he gets mad. And he drops like 2 promos a game, and all the fans that he works in, he throws a tantrum.
He's always mad.
I know he's a baby back.
His eyebrows are literally like.
When you're the second place champion and you're behind A-list, you're always going to be upset. So Hollywood hates being behind A-list because he feels that he should be the top guy. He should be the man on the marquee, and A-list keeps stealing his marquee.
Hasn't anyone ever noticed that Hollywood, all he does is sit there and just calls out for like the bottom of the tier talent to come to face him, and yet let's look forward to what's going on. We already know he's gonna go against Storyteller, but there's 2 qualifying matches to get into there. You have Heathen going against Damian Cross, who we already know what's gonna happen in that match. And then you got Villain versus a guy named AEP, which has anyone still figured out what that means? Because I still haven't yet.
Angelo Entertainment Productions.
Okay, thank you. So
I had it right here in front of me. That's
at the end of the day, he could possibly go get like.
I thought it was Asteroids Eat Popcorn.
I thought it was always eating pizza. I don't know, or always eating pineapple. Something about eating, but. Hollywood could end up having to go against Heathen, Storyteller, Villain. How can he expect going against lower tier talent and then now all of a sudden have to face that battering ram?
I mean, he beat his former tag team partner.
His former tag team partners who?
You know, that guy I faced when I first came in here. What was his name?
Are you talking about the hot sauce guy?
No.
Chicken wings.
No.
Ripka Wildly.
Hodgepodge.
Wait, that's a different organization.
Hodgepodge.
Hodgson.
Hodgepodge. The TV show.
Hodgson.
That sounds like one of those like beanbag chairs that you'd have to sit in.
You know, I think I know the secret to it. I think I know how Hodgson can beat Haywood and beat him at his own game. Hodgson needs to change his name because you have Hodgson, which is an H, and then you have Hollywood Haywood, which is 2 H's. So Hodgson just needs another H. So
or go bald.
From now on, Hodgson shall be forever known until I get fired. He should be ever known as Handsome Hodgson.
How about
he also goes
bald, gets a goatee.
He got to be happy, handsome Hodgson. So he can be
happy, handsome Hodgson.
The triple
No. We got to add one more. You got to add one more copyright infringement.
Well, can't do that. That's going to be copyright. That's going to be copyright. 4H is a club.
4H. That's it. Now, Hodgson, you are now known as 4H, and you have to be known as 4H at least until the next show is done. Because
and apparently you got to wear a.
I haven't been fired yet. Sorry. Now,
but he also has to grow a goatee and shave his head bald.
No, he doesn't have to do none of that. No. But we're going to take a quick commercial break real quick, and then we're going to get into the rest of the matches, and then we're going to kind of take a quick peek at next week's matches. But while we take that commercial break, I want everybody to understand that at HSP, we like to speak out to like the children. We want the children to grow up fine and be creative. And recently we had an elementary school, one of their lovely third graders drew a great rendition of one of our promo artists. And I wanted to go ahead and show you this. And this is their rendition of Rick Johnson doing karaoke. I mean, it's such a great picture that the 4-year-old did. I absolutely think that this should be on the next T-shirt for Rick Johnson, the promo Donis. So,
Are they trying to say that he's Mikey from Recess?
well, you know what? It could have been a little bit of plagiarism. I don't know, because honestly, the third grader that drew this is Hollywood Haywood's daughter. So I don't know. She throws waffles, but she's a great artist. She's a great artist, and her dad's a great promo artist, even though he is a little too cocky and wants too much shit. But anyway, we'll worry about that on the next little thing. Let's go ahead and go to this commercial, and let's pay this light bill. I don't know what that was, Mark.
Did you?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, John. Yeah. You screwed that up. Anyway, all right. So we played a little bit of a bill there. Now, since that little thing showed Heathen and Mary Sue, and he beat her by like, I don't know, 5 jillion points.
Has she still
What do
fought?
you think, Heathen, is going to happen next week? Because you got Tin Can, who you pretty much, kicked across the damn road. Barely, might I add. But you still kicked him across the road. It rattled like a paint can, all this other kind of stuff. But he's going, Tin Man can win. If he really puts effort to it, if he really tries, he can win. We know Tin Man's not going to lose to Mary Sue. So to have Mary Sue with all the losses that she's had, do you think this is like a killer match? Like this would put Mary Sue out of the game?
That's honestly a good question. If she can rebound, because if you've looked at some of the people I've beat before, after I beat them, they went on one of the hottest streaks of their career. Look at Austin Wilde as per example. After I beat his ass in the manager's match over in PPA, he went and won 2 world titles. So, that could happen as well. I'm hoping she brings a better game to Tin Man than what she brought for me, but I really don't expect that much. So, who knows?
Yeah, really and truly, and that's kind of crazy. And I want to bring this up because I saw this in one of the comments today, or yesterday is when it was, and I saw where, it seems like Tin Man still he seems to be a little bit more ruffled at his feathers, and he's still a little hot under the collar that he lost. Now, granted, yeah, he did mention that it was only by 1 point, but you know what? I know I'm just a producer, but I got to agree with you. A win is a win. A win is a win is a win is a win. It don't matter if it's by 1 point, if it's by half a point. It doesn't matter if it's by default. But he did make a good point that y'all done it singly, but you've never done it together. Now, Boss knows this, for an instance, because I know he said it before in other places all the time. Yes, we ain't got time for your product placement there. But is it possible if you put a harder match up against somebody, if you put a harder obstacle for a promo artist to get over, wouldn't that kind of, push them a little bit? And if that's right, is there a possibility, a small, teeny tiny frog hair of a possibility, that if pushed with that responsibility, Tin Man could actually beat the Hellraisers by himself? Not saying he would, but would that be a possibility?
Actually, it could be a possibility.
My opinion, if he can't beat us individually, there's no point in him facing us collectively. That's just a waste of a spot.
Yes, I can agree with that. I can totally agree with that 100%.
There's no point in continuing to prove what's already been proven twice already. If Tin Man's best chance of getting the Hellraisers at the same time was if he could have actually got along with Villain and they could have got past their match to face us, that would have been about the only way he was going to get us as a collective. He's not going to get that handicap match because we've already proved our point. He's 0-2 against the Hellraisers. Point proven.
Okay, so let's play a little devil's advocate. With what you're saying, Heathen, you beat the Highway Hellraisers have beat the shot callers twice, right?
Yeah.
But can A-List Alverson beat the Highway Hellraisers by himself?
I don't think so. I mean, because if you look at it, I mean, we've already beat A-List Alverson as a collective.
You beat the shot callers as a collective. You have not beat A-List as a collective.
Well, I mean,
You beat a team.
We all read the comments that were saying he was the weakest link of that tag team at that time.
Therefore,
So I'm receiving text messages.
Therefore, if I was to beat this link, that means as close as we was off the strength of A-List. And that means I held the team down, correct? So if he didn't have me holding him down, he could have won.
So
Uh,
What I'm failing to understand is why everybody wants the Hellraisers in these handicap matches.
Oh no, I'm not saying that he needs to be in a handicap match. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just throwing the same thing back at you. Because you're saying that because y'all beat him individually, that collectively that 10-man wouldn't have a chance.
I mean, technically, didn't he face us once before as the legendary Story? Whenever Storyteller had his technical issues and he had to go by himself?
This is true.
Yeah,
So,
but with no technical difficulties, the points counted against the Storyteller.
But that still could have been 10-man's chance to step up and prove his point.
So I apologize for having to interrupt, but I'm seeing some text messages from a group chat. They're saying that they would like to see Jeffy, Tin Man, and Rainbow versus the Hellraisers.
See, this is the stupid shit that they come up with. Why is it that our title reigns are nothing more than a damn joke in this company? Where is the real competition? That's the better question. All the idiots in the back want to say, oh, Jeffy and Rainbow. I would set Jeffy on fire and piss on the ashes. Rainbow belongs in the fucking dumpster. So, I mean, there's how I feel about y'all's little petty-ass mascots. So, you can keep them damn comments to yourself.
Now you're going to chill out because Jeffy's my friend.
Well, I got a personal spot for Jeffy right in the bottom of the garbage disposal.
I mean, now, granted, it does sound ridiculous, but you know what? We do live in the United States, and anything can happen. And just like Bossellini's grandfather used to always say, only in America, God bless Bossellini's grandfather. Love this man to death. You even have your grandpa's hair. I absolutely love it. But you know what? Let's get past the mascots and the rainbow pudding and the rainbow poop and all this other kind of Jeffy crap and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this Wallace and A-List match. You know, and the tie that it came up with. And the best person to give us a perspective on this is the champion himself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pulse, the one, the only. I'm just kidding. He's not in here. But anyway, let's go ahead and discuss all that. Yeah, y'all got excited. Yeah, I saw that. Your hair stood up and everything like that. Well, what hair you have, John? Anyway, we're not talking about your personal life. But let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, boss, tell me, how shocked, or if any kind of shock at all, like what was your reaction to we have a tie?
My reaction is this, and it was this as soon as I heard there was a tie. I seen that Mr. Wallace put everything that he had into this match. A-List didn't. A-List came out with the mentality of you have to prove that you can be the champ. The champ just has to maintain. So the question's going to fall into this because they have this rematch. Rainbow.
Who keeps changing my name?
But they have this rematch coming, and the question is going to be, what will Wallace be able to bring? Because as we see, he did everything he could. Hell, I watched his promo a couple of times. I watched the man's child come out and say that she supports A-List Alverson. You know how devastating that is when your own flesh and blood, your seed, supports your arch rival, your nemesis, the man that you can't beat. You know, unfortunately, Mr. Wallace has faced A-List in every type of match possible and cannot get the job done. I mean, he just can't get it. It's just like when you seen that play where the man was running and he made it to the 1 yard line and fumbled the football. That's what I see. That's what I'm seeing from Mr. Wallace. Hell, they say that A-List has been beating him so bad that they're only calling him Wallace.
Somebody finally sees my point. It's as I called it. He's going to drop the ball. If he's already brought his best and can't get better than a tie, the rematch is, I mean, my personal opinion, Wallace don't stand a chance. Wallace cannot get the job done in a big match situation. I'm calling it right now.
I mean, you know what? I got to totally agree with that too, because finding out it was a tie, even though it was a tie, the way I kind of look at it was like the Super Bowl in the year 2000 with Tennessee Titans. Their first year in, they go to the Super Bowl and they lost by how much? By that much. That's how far away it was from the end zone. And that is how far Wallace seemed to be from getting that win. I really don't think the man has it in him anymore. But since we are so gracious to be talked about that, and we're going to kind of slowly move into next week's thing, let's talk about something that has literally been the pain in my ass for the last 72 hours. I wish to God I could snap this number 2 like a twig. My boss.
What do you want to snap me for?
Because you're a pain in my ass.
You on Team
Why? Because I make you do your job?
Yeah, do
You don't come on to Conqueror TV and interrupt Rick Johnson while he's putting on a snooze fest.
I'm not the one that clicked the button to have me come on the show.
Well, I mean, I want to get paid, on Friday. So
we got threatened if we don't put you guys on there.
There. So I'm just checking in. I'm here trying to watch a baseball game, but unfortunately, rain and lightning here in the Houston area. So my satellite signal's a little screwed up here. So I thought I'd come check in and see how you guys were doing.
Heathen, there was a message on screen for you.
I'm sure it's riddled with intelligence. Hit me with it.
It says, Jeffy wants Heathen to know that wasn't a sanctioned statement, that it's pretty pathetic that a guy has to bring stuffed animals into a conversation because he has nothing else interesting to say.
Who brought the damn conversation up about the stupid thing to begin with?
Possibly.
So I heard you guys talking about the Mr. Wallace and A-List Alverson. I think I'll chime in on that as well. That I haven't been around the promo game.
Before you do that, we do have another question.
Sure.
Are you finally gonna accept the A-List, not A-List, Hollywood Haywood's offer to go one-on-one versus him?
As I've said before, he hasn't given me a reason. You guys know I'm not a promo artist. I'm an executive, and I've competed
he has
twice.
A reason, apparently. He's been in the locker room just chatting up a storm in the group, saying that his reason is he knows you're scared of him.
But this sounds like what was spoken of about him earlier, where he wants to go against lower tier people to make himself look good.
Well,
I think he wants to be a rebel.
if that's the case, Hollywood.
A-list Dalverston is applying, or not A-list, but Hollywood Haywood is trying to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's the world's biggest crybaby. The only thing missing on him is a diaper and a pacifier. You know,
That'd be a good match for you, boss.
Can I step in and play devil's advocate now?
Of course.
What would happen if it come to find out that some of the ones in the back do believe that Hollywood Haywood could whip your ass?
That's part of why I'm not a promo artist. I'm not very good at what you guys do. That's why I stay out of the way. So for me to go into a verbal battle with Hollywood Haywood, he hasn't given me a good reason. He trashes me every day anyway, so it's not like he's gaining anything by getting into a match with me. He's already doing what he wants. That's not a good enough reason.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point.
Now, some of the other stuff that he has been bringing up is that you and the president, Dr. Quack, cannot control the fact that somebody's been hacking into our shows as of late and disrupting matches. For the second straight week or a second straight show, we have actually had somebody who hacked into a match, and this time it actually cost somebody a match.
And that is a fair point. That is a fair point. Go ahead and finish. You sound like you're finishing up your question.
I guess my big question is, what are you guys doing as the president and vice president to stop these actions? Because it's starting to become now where we never know. They might hack into a live feed and cost the Hellraisers their tag team championships.
Well, we have actually seen that, not so much the Hellraisers, but we have seen them hack in on a match before with the Storyteller got hacked. So what we're trying to do, unfortunately, I'm also not very tech savvy. Dr. Quack is, so he's working with the IT team trying to find out what the disconnect is, because these hacks are not coming externally; they're internal. Somebody inside Heart and Soul is doing these things. So we're trying to figure out who it is, as we think we caught some code in there. So we're trying to trace it back to who's doing it. But you know, when we're on the show, as you saw, Hollywood Haywood, he came in and he turned in paperwork for Master of Illusion. You know, we can only be so many places. We do expect our IT team to function. We already fired the head of the IT department and brought in a new person trying to stop these internal hacks. We're doing what we can. We hope we get it figured out and stopped soon. We even tried putting a cipher lock on the door, and the door got opened.
So I guess one of the big questions is, I also saw another question in the locker room was, does Dr. Quack actually have a real doctorate? Nobody's ever seen this doctorate. He just wants to be a doctor.
But since I'm coming back on here, but that is a fair point, that these things are a problem, and we are trying to fix and solve these things. It's one step at a time.
He froze again. But
well, there you go. I mean, we can get hacked during a pause right there. It was probably Hollywood Haywood, because did y'all see the drawing he did of Mr. Mayhem?
Yeah, but I mean, you got to look at it like this. Actually, if I'm correct, it might have been 3 matches that these hacks done happened, because I remember I the last match that I had, I don't think I made it all the way through.
Yeah, honestly, I apologize. I don't even think you made it five seconds into the promo before someone hacked you. So I believe that was the match I was talking about. That was it was thrown out as a no contest because of that incident. But then all of a sudden now you have this match where all of a sudden, boom, American Roughneck, who's also returning, all of a sudden gets hacked and he loses the match, which. That's a big win for NDT.
Well, I think
he go against a guy who's won championships.
But I think he had the same thing happen against Storyteller. but the common denominator was it was Brother Blackheart's match every time.
It's going to get very interesting
It
to
has.
see what happens. But maybe we have some. Maybe we can look and see if there's some code in German or something.
Well,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
only
Well,
that.
It is.
It's
we
not only
know-
that, but in Conquer TV, there's somebody on Conquer TV that's probably the hacker trying to call right now.
You never know, but with Lifeblood, their whole thing is about spreading truth as any way they can. It wouldn't surprise me if Blackheart's involved. We have no solid evidence of this at this point. It's all conjecture. But all I know is I want these to stop, because my job is to give the people that watch the best show I can. And when we keep getting hacked, we're not always giving you everybody out there the top quality talent.
Yeah, because honestly, going back to a couple shows ago when it was Boss's match that got hacked, I heard ratings went down and we were losing money because they didn't have their daily dose of the Boss. And
well, luckily, Boss got about 2 minutes in before we got rickrolled, of all things. Whoever that used such an original hack that rickrolled us. But now that, Boss, that you're here, I want to officially apologize in front of the world to you for having to suffer through that indignity, and thank you for being a true trooper and moving forward and still supporting Heart and Soul.
Oh, no doubt. Heart and Soul is a place where, they say the best come to battle, and looking at the man below me, the man who has all the titles on screen, the Heathen, and like I said, until he's beaten, he's the champion. And the goal is to, of course, anybody's goal who's here should be to become champion. And my focus now is on the guy who, it might be on the guy who's been basically taking bottom tier talent and hoping that he can continue his title reign. Calling out people who don't promo for a promo battle.
I was just getting ready to point that out, actually. Why is he wasting his time calling out guys that don't promo, complaining about security, whenever he's got some of the most dangerous ones in the game as of right now coming for that Soulfire title, one of them being me?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that, Heathen. I know you're not a fan of multi-man matches, but you are great in the live match, which is very close to a multi-man. So I just wanted to see what you thought of going into this coming up, how you feel about it.
I also have a question for after that, too.
All right. I didn't mean to jump your guys' line.
Oh no. You, Boss, you asked the question, so Heathen, that one was for you.
How do I feel going into this yet another multi-man match? Honestly, I'm going to go into it the same as I go in each and every other one. I'm going to go in guns blaring. I'm going to line them up and do my damn and knock them down. But win or lose that multi-man match, Heathen versus Haywood will happen one way or another.
All right.
Go
ahead, John. I won't hold it.
So, Boss, this is another one for you. Could there be any rumblings that this could actually turn into a live match for a multi-man match going live? So we may possibly not have to worry about having any hacks.
That's for you, Mr. Mayhem.
I'm sorry. Ask the question again. You kind of broke in and out.
So for this upcoming multi-man match, no matter who's in it, whether it's because we already know two of the competitors, if it's Heathen and Villain, AP, Heathen, you name it, Damien's not going to win, so there's no point of ever.
Storyteller is already guaranteed a shot because of having been a former Pure Heart champion. He gets an automatic #1 contender slot.
So with that being said, could this upcoming multi-man match actually be a live match rather than just, hey, we're gonna throw you guys and let you guys send promos, just to save, just in case maybe those hackers could be possibly hacking into that match to rig it maybe towards a specific individual.
Well, the fatal four-way for the Soulfire, the four-way match will not be till September 15th. So we have time to plan for that right now, because the three people that won on the last show, the Iron Bison, Vagabond, and Landfill, their match will be September 1st against the winner of A-List and Mr. Wallace. But the two that are competing will not compete until the 15th, and the tag team title match will not be until the 15th as well.
Now,
so we do have some time to plan and see if we can come up with a better strategy to stop the hacks, or do something else like a live, but those have been shown to be hacked from time to time as well.
Yeah, because as HSP's tag team champion, I would hate to see one of these hacks come in and cost me my tag title and have to go on a full-scale riot until I find out where these hacks are coming from.
I agree. I would love to know myself. The only thing we know right now is it's somebody inside Heart and Soul, somebody who has access inside the room, because it's not an external hack.
Okay,
now,
so one moment. I have a question, because I keep hearing everybody say that they already know two people that's in the match. Right now, only person I know that's guaranteed to be in the match is the storyteller.
Correct.
You know, because by some chance, fluke of a reason, Sir Captain might pull off the upset of the year. Hey.
Well, he's got the confidence. He came back brimming with confidence after his tea with the Queen.
I have more confidence watching children change diapers than watching a Sir Captain promo.
Yeah, but you're also bitter because he's a former tag partner.
But I'm gonna say like
he's
this:
not a former tag team partner of mine.
If Britt can step up and cover the point spread against Rig and get close, you know, the closest that we've seen Brick ever, who knows what Sir Captain can do?
Exactly.
That's a mighty uphill climb of his. Now, Heathen, since you are one of those members of the qualifying matches, who all do you want to see in that? Do you want to see it where it's stacked to pretty much be technically the main event, probably one of the best matches that HSP could have to date? Or would you want a couple easy people to come in so it's an easy slaughter?
Honestly, I'm tired of facing easy people. Look who they have handed me in recent cards. I want the storytellers. I want the top talent that's still here, that's still left, that hasn't fallen off and sunk to the bottom like Tin Man, since he has slowly finished his descent into whatever, now that he's eating rainbow shit and all this stuff. But I want to get a hold of Villain. I've not faced Villain yet. Storyteller. I mean, I want the best of the best in this Fatal 4-Way, so it will be the best match that HSP has had to date.
I like that motivation. I will make sure we push that. I know you specifically asked to get put into the Soulfire, so we're trying to honor that request for you. But I hear what you're saying, and we'll be talking afterwards to make sure the championship committee knows what your intentions are.
Now, before we end up closing this whole show out, I have one match that I want to talk about, and it's been we've had this one promo artist who's come in and pretty much saying he is the best. Like, I believe his intro says greatness. And in the HSP, he's not allowed to have these alter egos by the name of Seven. He's only supposed to be the enforcer. Now, Heathen.
Now, hold up. I'm going to say something before you even ask that little question, because, you know, Heathen kind of inspired me, and as a producer, that actually is a great thing, because, you know, was constantly being tagged by an inside hacker, which I promise you is definitely somebody in the locker room. It's probably Dr. Quack himself. I don't even know. I mean, is he that smart, Mayhem? You know what? Don't answer that question. You get sued. But regardless, is somebody inside the corporation, is somebody inside the locker room, it's probably Sir Captain. It's probably the enforcer. And you know what? I wouldn't blame him. He probably is because he's mad because he can't bring his other little gimmicks out there. But you know what? It's funny that you bring that up, and and Heathen inspired me because he has all that gold. Whenever I see Heathen with all that gold right there and all that motivation and everything that he has going for him, he reminds me of a particular Lucky Numerical promo artist. See, that's how you say something without saying something. Reminds me of that particular person because of the gold behind him. The only difference between Heathen and that numerical artist is that the stuff behind Heathen, he actually won. He didn't pay for it.
Well,
I mean, that's just how it is.
I can stand behind that statement 110%. Just about everybody I've come up against here lately wants to discredit any other title I've got that's not an HSP title. It don't matter whether it's HSP, VOH, PPF. I'm going to earn every shot that I'm given, and I'm going to take every opportunity that comes down the pike. Now, when it comes
right, and Heathen, you are not a coward. Boss is not a coward. There's a lot of promo artists here that are not cowards. There's some that are. There are some that are not. But I can tell you who definitely is a coward. It's whoever that little smart-ass little son of a bitch is that's going to come out here and then put a comment out here and get everyone riled up and then delete the comment because he's a scared little bitch. I'm not a promo artist. I'm just a producer, and I'm probably going to get fired after this show. But you know what? I'm going to state my opinion on it.
But since we're talking about opinions, but there's a reason why I brought up the enforcer. Sorry, boss, I'll let you go first because I know you've had some words to say.
All right, so this question is actually for Heathen. You're getting ready for this Soulfire tournament, right? You're trying to get up into that 4-way, and one of those titles behind you, right? Yeah, that one on the second shelf. When you won it, how long did it take you?
Well, it took me a minute.
So you done proved that you can win titles in short periods of time, right?
Under any and all circumstances, being it was the wheel of misfortune.
Yeah, and from what I heard, you took on one of the strongest people that you've got in the VOH to win it in that 60 seconds.
Oh, easily one of the best in the business.
So if you could do that against one of the best in the business in 60 seconds, I'm pretty sure a 3-minute match against three top-tier competitors, you could probably walk out on top, right?
I'm not underestimating it in the least because, as a wise man once said, any given promo, any stumble, any slip-up, any mispronunciation, any one of those circumstances could cost you that one vital point that could either win or lose you that match.
Don't remind me. What? And the thing is, it doesn't have to actually be the words from you that can cost you the match. Because me personally, A-List became champion because of the words of Mr. Wallace against me, which cost me the point I needed to actually become the champion. So the words of others can actually help or hurt you.
And once you're medically cleared, boss, I'm looking forward to getting you back going towards the title picture.
Well, speaking of that, I'm going to give you some good news. Tuesday, Bossellini is being released.
That's great news. Great news.
Awesome. That's cool because guess what? If I get fired from the shop, I can actually come and hang out with the promo artists and not have to talk about promos. Like we can sit there and have a hot dog and and all kinds of stuff. I think that's wonderful. Good job, boss. Good job.
But before we get off this show,
I want to talk about there, John. Go ahead and just go ahead and finish that off. I got to run to the little boy's room. I gotta
Go take care of your little bladder. Go take care of your bladder. I got you. So my biggest issue is you got a guy who came into the HSP pretty much talking about how he's one of the greatest promo artists of all time. What is his record since coming to the HSP?
He's only lost once.
And
that was to Iron Bison.
And that is
Iron Bison is one of those surprising ones. I think if you put him into a title picture now, I don't know who would want to go against Iron Bison. I know Boston
statement. Iron Bison has came in and he's brought a hell of a storm with him.
Because if you pay attention to Iron Bison tells you a great story. And the thing is, he does it without effects or anything. It's just him and his environment. And most people do not know how to react. They try to go above and beyond. Like, perfect example, last match, the Enforcer. He was going head to head with Iron Bison, and 7 started trying to come out. And I believe that if an Enforcer would have just manned up and fought head to head, he might have had a better chance in the match. But that 7 might have cost him.
I was just about to ask that. Now that you brought that up, does the Enforcer use 7 as a crutch at times? Because we all know.
We chime in with that by saying, when it comes to the Enforcer and his multiple personalities, he brought the same thing against me, and that cost him a chance at this.
Well, with that being said, I was watching I was actually watching a message in another place. Matter of fact, the guy that he didn't beat for that title, he delivered a message out to the Enforcer, letting him know that his longest title reign wouldn't have happened if he didn't let it happen, because he gave him a win because the Enforcer was sick. So he said if he walks away from the biggest event of the VOH's history, that he wants to face him and take the title from him. So some of the things that he does, he walked into HSP and said that he's greatness, and over in other places that he's been, he has the backing to say that, because he didn't showed what he's done. He's a Grand Slam champion. He was a champion over in the place that he's in the champion at now, PPF. How do I know that? Because I own the title belt now. I own that belt, because that's how the boss do. The boss acquires titles at all easily, because once they're gone, they feel like they don't deserve to hold the title no more. But with that being said, he done did that in other places, but now you're here, and this is where I've heard everybody come and say, this is where the greats come to play. You done got people that done came from every promo fed in the world to battle.
Shit. Look what the cat dragged in.
He done world travel. Titles everywhere he done been. I'm world travel. Villains world travel. Tin Man has been more than one place. There's so many people that have been everywhere. Hollywood's promo slut. He goes everywhere. Anywhere that he could get a title, he's gonna be there. Even the Farm League of PPA. You do what you do. Some of the places where some of the strongest promo artists have been, I've been, and I've been the champion. Even then, and he's currently champion. This is where you got to show it can't. But now over here, I can't sit there and call myself one of the best. Why? Because I haven't been a champion in HSP. I haven't. I actually haven't been in Soul Fire division either. So Hollywood, you lucky. But.
So I do have a question though. But before we start,
one second, because I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be honest. Hollywood, your look looks like it's going to be running out, because that 4-way that it looks like it's going to happen with Heathen, villain storyteller. That's a 4-way title match to rival the one that I was in with A-List, Roughneck, and Wallace. So it's not going to be an easy match. Trust me, because I done been in the match and I done faced everybody that you're facing except for the storyteller. So I'm gonna tell Hollywood like this: the easy matches are over with. You about to face some big boys now.
Yeah, and then like what was it? A couple weeks back, we also heard the Enforcer. It sounded like he started whining about people talking shit about him. Heathen, who whines more, Hollywood or Enforcer?
Enforcer, honestly, because at least Hollywood, to his credit, he's the longest reigning Soulfire champion. And as you said, as it was mentioned earlier, what has Seven done since he's been here? What has the Enforcer done since he's been here? Not half of what Hollywood Haywood has done. Yes, the Enforcer, he's been a crybaby bitch as of late. And, I mean, he was the Grand Slam champion, was one of the greatest of all the time, but the thing is, it's the key word, was. It goes right along with the word has been.
Really quick before John gets in, Tin Man obviously appeared. He must have something to say.
I was just about to say it. Tin Man, you threw the cigarette. You don't look happy. What's going on?
Actually, I am pretty happy. But I reserve the right to say my words for last because what I'm going to say is going to put a smile on Heathen's face.
I'm sure it is.
All right, so if we're going to do that, final thoughts, time for final thoughts. Boss, I'm going to let this one start with you.
All right, so first thing, I'm going to make a comment about the Enforcer. What has he done? You got to look at it. Compared to the time that Hollywood's been here, compared to the Enforcer's time. Yeah, of course Hollywood's done did more because he's been here longer. But when he first started, he was taking ass whooping after ass whooping before he got over into as I call it, the cupcake division. But looking forward, and I'm looking forward to this show because there's 2 rematches that I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the Highway Hellraisers face off against the Era Reality. Because we seen that Wallace tried to carry the team by himself because, Young Gun had to go into police custody or whatever they said.
It wasn't police custody. It was a police engagement. They shut down the Wi-Fi where he was at.
Oh, they always shut down the Wi-Fi. It's not like this is the first time this has happened to them.
Well, McDonald's Wi-Fi got to get cut off every now and then.
Let me jump in.
I didn't know if it was McDonald's, Starbucks.
Being the tag team champions, as we've stated on a number of occasions, when it comes to the live tag match against the inaugural champions, you have to be prepared for any and all situations.
Okay, now I can finish my final thoughts. Thank you. And the rematch between Wallace and A-List, because as of right now, we all see that Wallace can't get the job done. He can't win the big one, especially when his opponent's name is A-List Alverson. Matter of fact, from what I've seen, Wallace can't get anything done against the shot callers. So. But I want to see what he's going to bring. I want to see what both of them is going to bring to the table with this title match. Because depending on who wins the title, the boss might come knocking on their door. And the last thing is, I want to see if Mary Sue is going to step up and bring fire to the 10-man. And hopefully she don't bring what she brought to Heathen. You know, but at the end of the day, there's one last thing I got to say. Buy my merch.
All right.
Our tag team champion down there, Heathen, your final thoughts.
My final thoughts is I just hope everybody watches the show coming up when we go and defend our tag team titles yet again. And we watch Mr. Wallace drop the ball yet again. And then maybe finally some of the ones that's been busting their ass for just about longer than anybody else gets their shot at the glory that they've been denied for so long now.
The important one. What are your final thoughts for tonight?
My final thoughts is I'm waiting to hear what the arbitrator has to officially say about Master of Illusion. That's supposed to be coming out any day now. I know the arbitrator has been doing an important job of looking into all the facts and facets of this case here, and I'm waiting to hear, because I'm pretty sure the arbitrator's gonna side with me that Master of Illusion, he's not eligible to compete in this match. So, you know, Hollywood's going to have to go it alone. And
Now,
other than that, I agree with everybody what Heathen said and Boss said. This is going to be an incredible show. Settle the Score is definitely going to be a top flight show. Don't miss it.
Birthday party.
Now, I don't want to sit here and try to be on Hollywood's side, because we all know nobody agrees with Hollywood. But you guys didn't say it had to be somebody on the HSP roster. So he went out to find somebody who saw eye to eye with him, because nobody else on the roster sees eye to eye with him. So
yes, but the contract he put Master of Illusion's name on was for an active competitor to be partnered with him. It wasn't an open contract. It was an established contract, which means it has to be somebody on the active roster. Master of Illusion is not on the active roster.
Okay. Now, Tin Man, I'm going to let you close out the show.
You know, it's kind of funny. You know, I wasn't even really going to come out and say anything because, you know, I was sitting there trying to debate. I was sitting there with a coin. I was going to flip it and see if I wanted to be easy on Mary Sue or not next week. And, you know, I'd be damned if I lost a coin. But what was so funny is that producer, Jeff Spielberg, come out of the bathroom and somehow found a bottle of gin and was pouring it up. And he said, you know what? I don't give a damn, Tin Man. I'm not holding you back no more. Go do whatever you got to do, because apparently I'm not entertainment no more. So I did hear this. I was listening in the back. I was listening to some of the things that's been said and some of the things that's been displayed. And you know what? I got to say this, and this is probably going to give Heathen a heart attack. I totally agree with you. I think this whole Rainbow Jeffy bullshit is retarded. So, seeing as how producer Jeff may not have a job anymore, and seeing as how it's not going to be, you know, really any consolation to it, I just wanted to say that, you know, Heathen, you're a pretty vindictive promo artist. You're pretty mean, boss. You're like a gangster. You're pretty mean too. But after all this little crap, and I understand I've been a little under weather. I've had some problems here and there. And I understand that I've been a little down, and I've been a little out, and I've been sucking up this screen. Well, y'all about to see a whole different Tin Man. And if you want to have an idea of exactly what that is, we all know who Rainbow is, don't we? Well, you know what? I honestly think it's time we put this bullshit to rest. I am tired of this Rainbow Jeffy shit. I have had enough of it. So everyone out there in promo land and everyone out in HSP, this is what happens when you look at stupid shit on the screen. The time of the stuffed animals is over. The time of Rainbow and Jeffy is over. I brought them on screen, and I can take them out. Getting a little hot there, buddy? You know what? I don't care.
It's
I mean,
about
Kelly,
damn time.
The Tin Man has spoken.
I mean, look, you can't kill him after you eat his shit. That don't sound right.
All right.
I'm kind of honestly, I'm lost for words, but we see Heathen pretty much jumping for joy over there, happy for pretty much seeing Rainbow getting pretty much burned alive. Oh, we're having some. You know what? I'm gonna close this out by just letting everybody watch this. Rest in peace, Rainbow, and good night, everybody.
Let me add one last thing as we close out. There's still 5 days left. August 15th. If you buy Bossolini merch, Heart and Soul is covering an additional 100% on his proceeds. So make sure you're getting your Boss merch and your Heathen merch and your Tin Man merch and the merch of all your favorite promo artists.
Because he does a crazy ass.